Here's a governor who gets the job-creating energy revolution and low taxes. You got all these people migrating to Pennsylvania. It is very interesting to me. Joining us now exclusively, Pennsylvania Republican Governor Tom Corbett. Governor Corbett, welcome to the Kudlow Report, sir. So let me get this right. Why are all these cars with Maryland and Jersey plates moving into Pennsylvania?
Well, thank you for having me on, Larry. And I think a lot of it has to do with us keeping our taxes in line. I made a promise when I ran 2 years ago that we would not raise taxes and we would create jobs, and that's exactly what we're doing. We've created 108,000 private sector jobs by the private industry doing it as a result of our cheap energy prices, as a result of the Marcellus shale that we have here. And our economy is a little more attractive to a lot of businesses, not just from New Jersey and from Maryland, but from around the country and literally around the world that are looking at Pennsylvania and what we can do with our cheap energy, our great workforce, and our location in the country where we're within 60% of the population in North America in one very long day's drive.
But, you know, listening to you on this, particularly this energy story is so great. The fracking story, the natural gas shale fracking story. New York, Governor Cuomo still is on the fence regarding the fracking issue. It could revolutionize his state. Let me just ask you in brief, how important to your economy in Pennsylvania is the fracking shale revolution?
Oh, it's extremely important. When we put an impact fee on the shale, we picked up $204 million rather than put taxes. It was impact fee, went directly into the community. But what it has done, it has allowed the industry itself to hire people. There are related companies that hire people. There are new technologies that are being developed in relationship to the development of the natural gas. You know, the phrase, the necessity is the mother of invention. Well, a lot of inventions are being developed, but the energy itself allows businesses across the state to grow. One area that we used it, or it's going to be used very quickly, is in southeastern Pennsylvania and Philadelphia, where the refineries that were about to go out of business are going to be using it to power the refineries. In southwestern Pennsylvania, Royal Dutch Shell is taking a look and hopefully will build a facility in the next couple of years that will take ethanol and create ethane.
What's the average job pay for that industry?
The average job in the industry is paying around $80,000 here in Pennsylvania.
Have you talked to Governor Cuomo?
The average workforce is $47,000.
Have you talked to Governor Cuomo about this miracle? Why is he still waiting?
Well, I've not talked to him directly on this. I know what's going on. I know there are a lot of people, a number of people that used to be opposed to it. A lot of them have changed here in Pennsylvania. Many people getting the benefit of it. But there are a certain group that are opposed to the fracking for fear that it will harm the environment. But I remind many people, we follow it very closely with our Department of Environmental Protection. It is a technology that has been used for decades, actually, in Texas, and we feel very comfortable that it is growing the economy here in Pennsylvania and will continue to grow it. And most importantly, is going to make us and the United States in the long term energy independent from the Mideast.
Right.
That's
Absolutely.
extremely
North
important.
American energy independence. Let me ask you two quickies before I lose you, Governor. We appreciate your time very much. Number one, does all this Washington hullabaloo affect Pennsylvania if there is a government shutdown, if there is a debt ceiling shutdown? How bad is that going to affect Pennsylvania?
Well, it's hard to predict at this point in time. I mean, we could lose millions in, for instance, Workforce Investment Act funding, community block grant funding, in special education funding in the education department, and in a number of other areas. So obviously, I'm in the process of getting ready to announce my budget the first week of February. We really don't know what we're going to have and what we're not going to have. But what I did is I inherited a $4.2 billion deficit. We controlled our spending. We didn't spend more than we had. We reduced spending by almost $2 billion. Federal government has to look to spend within their means.
All right, we're going to leave it there. Thank you very much, Governor Corbett of Pennsylvania. We appreciate it. Great story to tell.